this one is all about Mother's Day because today is Mother's Day, and so obviously I want to talk about it. But this isn't just about like, ooh, my husband spoiled me, although he did, and I will share those details as well. But it was a really special and unique Mother's Day for me because I took part in a special program where I got to visit some other moms in the hospital. So it was really unique and really special, and it's something that I want to share with everybody. So, for those who don't know, I'm Zoe, and Harley is running riot at the moment. Um, she's going mental, she's not sleeping. Hopefully, one day she'll sleep. So, it's a bit chilly here in Joburg. I'm snuggled up, I've got my hot chocolate, and I'm ready to tell you all about my experience with Mother's Day Connect. So, it was quite something for me, I must say. It was really an eye opener. So, for those who don't know, I was taking part in um, something from Cape Town Embrace, where they organized for us to go into the various state hospitals here in South Africa. Uh, they had it organized in Cape Town, in Joburg, and in Durban, where the moms could go to their local government hospital, the free public hospitals, and talk to the moms there and see what's what, and see how they are, and connect with them a little bit and welcome them to the mom tribe. And it all sounded really great in theory. So when I was originally approached by Mandy, I wrote this whole post about how my experience entering into motherhood went, and how um, scary it was, and how exciting it was, but also even with all the support, um, it was really, really stressful and really, really um, terrifying becoming a mom. And that was in a beautiful private hospital with my husband and with friends and with family, all of that. And so I wrote this whole post about how hard it was, even under the best of circumstances, and I couldn't imagine how hard it was um, for the moms who do it otherwise, and that I encouraged all moms to go and visit their local public hospital and support the moms on Mother's Day. Great. But obviously I had to do it too. Like, I wasn't going to tell all of you to go do something that I wasn't going to do myself. So I signed up, and thanks to Sharon from the Blessed Baroness, I was able to go to what used to be known as Joburg Gen, Charlotte Maxeke Hospital, and meet a lot of women. And when I say a lot of women, that is not that is not an understatement. Uh, a lot of women. I knew that the hospital was large. I knew that my private hospital had been small and intimate and all of that. But actually going to a hospital and realizing, we packed 73 bags. Well, Sharon packed 73 bags, and we went from room to room and chatted to women and gave them goodie bags and did our best to really try and make them feel special. And we ran out of bags, and we ran out of we ran out of flowers, we ran out of everything because there were so many women. It was mind-boggling. I mean, I think about it. When I gave birth, there were 12 women, there were 12 beds in the maternity ward, and it wasn't full. It was maybe half full, and it was terrifying because Harley was in the NICU, but she was one of, I think, about 3 babies. It went up to 4 babies. Eventually, they had 8 babies in the NICU, and that was a lot. That's because they had a couple set of twins. Um, but like, she was one of a very small number of preemies, and she had her own nurse there. She had her own sister 24 hours a day. They, had someone individually watching her, taking care of her. I knew all of them by the end of her stay there. I knew them all by name, by sight. I brought them presents. They used to dance with me when she would gain weight and when I was successful with breast pumping and all of this. So, I kind of went in with knowing that was a special, unique experience, but I didn't realize how special. So we arrived at the hospital and we started in the labor ward, and there were a bunch of women who had just given birth or who were about to give birth. Um, Very sadly, there was a woman who had just lost a baby. There was a stillborn in the labor ward. So a few of the moms went and gave the gifts then, and then the rest of us traipsed off to the main maternity ward, or at least what I thought was the main maternity ward, which turned out to be three main maternity wards, four main maternity wards. So we went room to room, and I chatted to some of the moms, and they were so lovely, and some of them it was their first baby, and the one I spoke to, it was her first baby, and his name was Gift from God, and she was just so excited and so happy, and it was so nice. I told her she was nursing the baby um, when I arrived, and I told her how great a job she was doing, and how she's already a breastfeeding pro, and just tried to be supportive already of her experience, and then chatted to the next one, and it was her first girl. She already had two boys, and this was her first girl. So it was very special, and the babies were beautiful and so tiny, and you forget how little they ever were. Um, and it was lovely. I mean, it was shocking, but it was lovely, and we were giving out bags and flowers and cupcakes, and trying to make each mom feel special, and it was divine. And then one of the women who was helping us was actually a rep for Pampers. She had given a bunch of products to Sharon to put in the goodie bags, and she knew the hospital well, so she was helping us find our way from room to room, because it's really like quite a labyrinth in that hospital. So we were going from room to room and um, finding our way around, and she pulled some of us together and said, did we want to go see the moms who had preemie babies? And I thought, preemie babies, why are they separate? Now, obviously, I was going to go. I mean, Harley was a preemie baby. She was prem. Um, of course, I had to go and see the moms with the preemie babies. So off I went. And again, I was used to an NICU where it was attached to the maternity ward, and I used to sanitize my hands outside, go inside and wash my hands with their special soap, then get inside, sanitize again, do, hold Harley, do kangaroo time, whatever it was. And literally, if I touched anything, looked at anything, I would sanitize all over again. Like, that was just the tradition, was like sanitize and sanitize and sanitize again and again. Um, and so, like, the first 5 weeks of Harley's life is pretty much associated with the smell of hand sanitizer. And we get to the NICU. It's quite big. I can see from when we walk in, there's the nurses station and all these rooms. And I think, okay, well, it's a bigger hospital, so it'll be that much bigger. They didn't even have hand sanitizer on the door. Like, I had to ask the one sister, like, please, can we all have hand sanitizer before we come in and talk to these women? Like, I didn't want any of us causing any issues. So there we were, and we go into this ward, and I went into one of the rooms, and there were about 8 women in this room. So it was full. I mean, it was 4 beds on each side of the room, 8 women altogether, one nurse at the end of the room, and every single one of them had a preemie baby on her. Every single one was doing kangaroo time with her baby, and it was like, are you kidding me? Like, this is ridiculous. Like, how what's going on? So I got to chat to one of them, and her little boy, she was 30 weeks when she had the little boy, and he was tiny. He was so tiny, and I absolutely remember when Harley was that big, and she had him on her chest, and she was doing the kangaroo time and just cuddling with him and bonding with him, and she told me she was really scared and really stressed. And I told her, how I went through something similar with Harley, that she also came early, and how healthy she is now. And, I tried to encourage her as best as I could and connect with her as best as I could. And then it's like, turn around, and there's 7 more women who are in the exact same boat. So, Thankfully there were a lot of moms with us who went to the hospital, and they were also talking to those moms, and chatting to them and asking them about their babies and all of that. And so then I went to the next room, and it was just another room exactly like that. Another 8 women, another huge batch of preemie babies. And then that doesn't even count when we then went across the hall to all the incubators and all these tiny little cots and all these moms sitting with their babies in incubators. And it just, I think the scale of the visit is what really threw me. I knew obviously that many women give birth every day. Like, I've read the statistics. Like, I've seen those videos. Um, every second how many people are born and how many people die, but it's very um, theoretical. It's very academic to say, oh, well, of course so many women come through the hospital every day. Of course so many babies are born. But to actually go and see a ward that has 70 some odd women come through with babies every day, I, I couldn't even wrap my mind around it. Like, it was just crazy. And, these are women, there's a real range. Like, obviously this is the poor end of South African society. But that doesn't necessarily mean these are the most destitute. I mean, some of the women are. Some of the women obviously are quite poor. But it's also just people who don't have insurance and can't afford to go to a private hospital. And, whoop, hello, Harley. Did you want to come and visit? Can you say hello to the stream? Can you say hi? No? No. Do you want to sit by mommy for a bit? Are you gonna scream? um, and I think about Harley, and she was 8 weeks early, and I had all the support, and it was still terrifying. And I remember reading books and worrying about how she would grow up, and if she would catch up, and how she would grow, and all of these things. And there you go, hi. And there were tons and tons of women, and they were going to be sent home. I mean, that's the other thing is, it's not that the hospital is mean. It's not that they're unkind or uncaring. You can see these sisters, the nurses really care, the doctors really care, but they need the beds. So the moms were going to go home, some of the babies were going to be sent home, and I was used to, Harley was in the hospital for 5 weeks, and to imagine if she had been sent home before then. Imagine if she had just been like, okay, you're fine, go on home. I don't know what I would have done. It was hard enough bringing her home when the hospital deemed her ready, and these moms are taking their babies home so early with very limited resources, and it just boggled my mind. It just absolutely boggled my mind to imagine, how many hundreds of women are coming through this ward every week. How many hundreds of women are giving birth and have nothing. And, as one of the mom tribe, it's like we like to think we are compassionate and we're all sisters, and it just broke my heart. I wished I had more goodie bags. We ran out of goodie bags. We ran out of everything just because there were so many more moms than we had anticipated. We didn't know about the whole preemie section. We didn't know, just the scale of the hospital. We didn't realize how many moms there would be, how many babies there would be, and for me, how many prems there were was shocking. Was absolutely shocking. Harley, you can't play with pencils. Are you trying to eat the pencil? Everyone's gonna think I'm neglecting you. Harley, can we not have you kill yourself on the live stream, please? Mandy says hi, by the way. She commented. Can you say hi, Mandy? No? Okay. Let's give you something else to play with, please. Do you want to play with a thermometer? That's fun. No. I know you're teething, but you can't play with that. How about some lotion? No. And so it all just, it was one of the most moving experiences I've ever had, and it made everything much less theoretical. I've studied development studies. I know about, you know, people needing public health and hospitals and all that. I mean, I've written whole articles about it, but to actually see it, to actually meet the women and find out their names and the names of their babies and see the situations they're in and, ask them if they have any other children, what's it going to be like when they go home? And, they're probably making dinner right now. They've probably had to make dinner tonight. Like, welcome home from the hospital. Thanks for bringing home a third baby. What's for dinner? And it's just shocking. And they'll probably be back at work this week or next because they can't afford to take maternity leave and they can't afford to be away from work. And, on and on and on. You just think, how do we, how is it that this hospital, which is like a 20-minute drive from my house, it's a world away. It's an absolute world away. And it's anywhere. I mean, like, obviously, I'm based in Joburg, and so the divide between rich and poor is really apparent. But all over the world, you think about the difference between public and private hospitals, between how mothers are treated in those hospitals, in those wards, comparatively. It's just, it's like this anywhere in the world. And it's shocking. And, Harley had the best shot at being happy and healthy and well adjusted. And Harley had every opportunity. She has every benefit that we can give her. She had the best care when she was born. She's had the best care since then. I have an amazing doctor. I have an amazing clinic sister for her her vaccinations, immunizations, and we obviously look after her. She goes to an amazing school. Every single benefit that I can give her, we do, and these women are happy to get a pack of baby wipes and some bum cream and maternity pads, and it's probably one of the biggest kindnesses that they'll get. And that I don't even know how to express that. How is it that something we gave these women today, not even the gifts, I mean, really, the one woman I sat with, her baby has jaundice. Her first child was born prem, but is fine. This is her second baby. And, she was having to sit with the baby under the lights, and she was so scared and so stressed and saying, she has to take care of her son, her older son, but she has to be with her baby, and they're going to send her home. She's fine. They're going to send her home, but the baby's going to stay, and she doesn't know how long. And she doesn't know how she's going to get back and forth to the hospital, and she doesn't know how she's going to look after her son and her daughter when they're not in the same place. And her family was in KZN, and she was so happy to get a cupcake and some flowers and be wished Happy Mother's Day. She was so grateful that we came to visit. She was so happy to have someone to talk to a little bit. And it just, and she wasn't the only one. I think that's the thing is, like, I think about some of the moms I knew in the NICU, and we bonded a little bit, not that much, but I did talk to the other moms when Harley was in the NICU, and, we all kind of bonded over, oh, it's really stressful, it's so scary, let me get in my car and drive to Home Affairs and drive to Pick and Pay and drive to Baby City and go where I need to go and sort my life out, but oh my word, it's so stressful. And these moms don't know how they're going to get nappies for their baby. They don't know how they're going to visit their kid in the hospital. And I can't even wrap my mind around it. Like, it just... And there were so many. And that's the thing is, one mom that grabs your heart is moving and emotional. 8 moms, 12 moms. The numbers just kept growing. There were 4 moms that we encountered today who had stillbirths. There were 2 moms that we heard about that were either had been in life-threatening situations or were in life-threatening situations. Um, the NICU was packed. I mean, I couldn't even count how many babies there were in there. I'm hearing, um, Harley, um, and I think it was the scale. We walked out of there. It was a whole group of us who had gone and given out all these goodie bags, and you know, talked to the various women that were in the hospital, and I was blown away when we arrived at how many women had shown up on their own Mother's Day to be there for other moms. I was really like blown away at how many people pitched and were supportive and helpful and said wonderful things to the various moms, and just really it was amazing the support that we saw. And we all walked out of there kind of shell shocked, like, can you believe this? This is unlike anything any of us had ever seen. Harley, do you want to be on the video? Are you a movie star? There you go. Hey, are you a movie star? And I was exhausted. I mean, I messaged my husband, as I always do. Like, I'm one of those people that when I go somewhere unfamiliar, I message him when I'm coming and going. And I messaged him to say, like, I'm on my way. And he was like, yay, see you soon. And I was like, cool, I'll just need a big cry when I get there. And he was like, oh, my word, was it that bad? And I was like, no, it was wonderful. And I was so glad to have gone. And I was so happy to have connected with the various moms. But I was emotionally shattered. It was it was remarkable to me to talk to these moms and to see how strong they were and how, they were going to make it work. They were going to find a way. But the adversity that they face and the struggle and the fact that motherhood is hard enough under the best of circumstances, and they don't have the best of circumstances. And how do they make it work? How is it possible? How do they pull this? How do they pull it off? So, it was such a meaningful experience for me that it's something that I really want to do every year, and it's something that I will happily encourage everyone else to do every year. And if you're in the same city that I am, or the same continent I am, I will encourage you to join me, because, you know, like I said, when Mandy initially approached me to do this campaign, I was like, I'll write a great post all about motherhood and why this is so important and why everybody should go visit the hospital, but actually doing it myself. This is something that I want to do for the rest of my life. I can't imagine a better way to celebrate Mother's Day than to actually be with other moms and try and support them at least a little bit. Do you want to go down? Do you want to go find Daddy? Hey? Do you want to go find Daddy? And just try and support these other moms who are less fortunate and who have a more difficult struggle ahead of them. And, whether it's here or when I move to the States or wherever, I always want to do this on Mother's Day. And when Harley's older, I want to take her with. When she's old enough to go on the wards, I want to take her with. I think it's important. I think it's important to see, not in I hate the word charity. I think not to look down on these women, but to admire them, their strength and their courage to be amazing moms under such difficult circumstances is so inspiring. And to see, like, I remember years ago there was someone who said, like, women around the world have more in common with each other than men and women from the same culture, or some crap like that. And people love spouting these kinds of things. And but women, moms, have so much in common. I mean, I could talk to these moms who I had never met before, who, I couldn't have told you who they were before walking in that door. I had no idea who they were. And we connected. And in that moment, we could look at each other and say, this is motherhood. Welcome. Like, it's hard and it's stressful and it's scary, but oh my word, your baby is so beautiful and you have made a life, and it's incredible. After doing it, I see now why Cape Town Embrace exists, and I hope they grow, and I hope this becomes a national and international phenomenon. I hope every woman around the world takes some time on Mother's Day. Every mother around the world takes some time on Mother's Day to visit a hospital and connect with another mom, because we all feel so lonely and we all feel so scared, and this, at least for me, put it in a different perspective and made me realize all moms are fighters and all moms are tough, and we all do whatever it takes to be there for our babies and to be there for the ones we love. And it was beautiful. It was really, really beautiful. And I think about the women that I've known in my life who, you know, about the way that people change when they become moms, and how I think it shapes so many women. And I know it has shaped me and changed me. I think about my mom, who is an absolute role model for me. I mean, she is an incredible, incredible woman, and talk about being a mom no matter the adversity. That's it. Put her name in the dictionary next to that. Um, but seeing these moms today and realizing there was something that we could all connect on, that we were all in the motherhood tribe, and it was just absolutely beautiful. So, um, if you didn't get to go today, I know some of you, didn't manage to go, that you had other plans or you had made other arrangements, please, please, next year, make a plan to join, because I realize now we need so many more moms, so many more bags, so many more cupcakes. There were just so many moms there, and I maybe got to properly talk to three or four of them, and it was just so busy and so full, and I didn't even realize that there would be so many moms to talk to, and so many in situations that mirrored my own, what I went through. And I wanted to stay and talk to so many, but it was like, on to the next one. There's still another ward, there's still another room, there's still more babies and more moms. And by the time 10 o'clock rolled around and we left, it was like I had nothing left to give. And so next time I definitely would like more moms to join. We were a big group. I think we were one of the biggest groups that had gone to that went to the hospitals today. And even that wasn't enough. Like, I felt like we could have been double the size, triple the size. Um, and it was just out of this world how many moms there were to talk to, and how quickly we had to do it. And so if you're on the fence about it, let me just tell you, it's not scary, um, it's not bad or traumatizing. Like, I thought it might have been traumatizing, or it might have been really upsetting, and in some ways it was, but not in a way of like, oh, I can't go back or I wouldn't do it again, but more like, oh my word, I wish I could do this every day. Like, I wish I could go and help these moms all the time. I wish I could go more often. I wish I could do more. And so if once a year it becomes a thing that Mother's Day rolls around, and especially when Harley gets older, I think it'll be so nice. Like, pack all the bags together, get some goodie bags together and go and spoil some moms who might not be spoiled otherwise, who might not otherwise feel special on Mother's Day, who might not otherwise be wished a happy Mother's Day, or be told they're doing a great job, or, be told that their baby is beautiful, and that, they're rock stars for being such good moms under such difficult circumstances. Um, it's something I want to do every year, and no matter where I go. So that's my big emotional dump. That's my big catharsis of the Facebook Live about, just how inspiring these women were for me, and how special today really was. And hey, Lilma, love you too. I already gave a shout out to my mom, but I'm going to do another one. My mom is the biggest role model for me. Like I say, to be a mom under difficult circumstances and push through and still just be so present and so loving and supportive. And, we're on opposite ends of the world, and yet I always feel like she's there for me. So, big shout out to mom, and happy Mother's Day. So, I see Harley. Harley, are you wanting to join the stream again? Monkey, can you say Happy Mother's Day? Um, so yeah, it was beautiful and it was sad and it was special, and I really know I need to do it again next year and the year after and every year after that I can, because it was so inspiring for me. And then I came home and it was freezing, and Dean and I hung out all day and I played video games, and he made me a delicious lunch dinner type thing, and it was just everything I could have wanted. We had a little picnic at home and it was delicious, and I was very spoiled and very happy, and it just, was kind of put again in stark contrast what I got to go home to versus what these women went home to, where they probably had to make their husband's dinner and their kids' dinner and just carry on. So that was my Mother's Day, and I want to thank all of you for sharing and for coming on and hearing about it, because if you were wondering about Mother's Day Connect, if you were wondering about getting involved, all I can say is that you won't regret it. You have to. You just have to do it. You have to. It will change the way you view motherhood. It will change the way you view healthcare. It will change the way you view any of these sorts of conversations that we have, because it was absolutely incredible. And to see room after room of moms with babies, room after room of preemie babies, women who've lost babies. I chatted to the one mom, and I told her, oh, my baby was also prem, I had preeclampsia, and she was like, oh, I also had preeclampsia. And it's like, it's universal. We all go through these kinds of things. We all face these struggles and adversity as moms and in birth, and it's just so wonderful to be able to do for others. It's like what I said in my last Facebook Live. It's nice to receive, but it's so much nicer to give, unless you're a sociopath. It's just so nice to have been able to do for these women, and even the ones who didn't get a bag, or even the ones who we barely got to talk to. Hopefully, maybe we made a small difference. Hopefully, maybe they smiled and were wished a happy Mother's Day and felt special, and um, knew that they weren't alone. I mean, we all feel alone, but maybe for those few minutes that we were there and visiting, they realized, you know what, there are a lot of moms in a similar boat, and we can support each other and love each other, and they are going to be amazing moms, each and every one of them, because they're all fighters, and their babies are fighters, and yeah, it's emotional and difficult, and I still kind of am ready for a big cry. But instead, I'll have some hot chocolate, because why cry when you can just consume your emotions instead? Um, so yeah, definitely, yes, definitely, Eleanor. Big growth to this amazing project. I want to take it international. Like, as soon as I emigrate, I am taking it with me to America, because this is absolutely like a necessity. I think every hospital should have this on Mother's Day, and um, all year really, but especially on Mother's Day. It put everything in perspective for me, and made me realize that of course I want to give Harley the best, and of course I'm gonna enjoy the deliciousness that Dean gave me for Mother's Day and all the treats and spoils. Um, but I really wanted to spoil those women, and I would happily spoil them again and do this project again every year. So if you want to get involved, please check out Cape Town Embrace. Please check out. I wrote a blog called "Dancing Motherhood is Dancing with the Fear." You can read it. I'll put the link in the description after the live is done. Um, But just check out Cape Town Embrace. They've got all sorts of information. I'm sure there'll be tons more information coming out as everybody shares pictures and all of that. I'll be writing about the experience as well. But share this message, please. Please, please, if you haven't, share this video. Share all the videos that you see about this. Share the posts about it, because the more moms we can make aware of this. I mean, even my own friends who, I know in Joburg were like, oh, if I had known about this sooner, I would have gotten involved. And I'm like, oh, crap. Like, even I didn't do a good enough job of spreading the word. So, please, we all need to share and spread the word about this amazing project, because I want us to be like an army of moms next year that go in with all the goodies and make every single mom feel special, and have time to connect to each and every one of them and help them in any way we can, and do it around the world. I really think this is so important, and this is a cause that I can get behind. And curses on you, Mandy, because you did this to me with car seats, and now you've done it to me again with this Mother's Day Connect. So I blame Mandy, and thank you so much to Sharon for organizing the hospital visit today, because I certainly couldn't have done what you managed to pull off with the amount of bags and goodies and treats and spoils and getting so many women involved. So huge, huge thanks to Sharon, huge thanks to Mandy, huge thanks to Cape Town Embrace. Thank you for including me in this and for letting me be a part of this movement, because it's really special and really important and something that's changed my life and will be a part of my life forever. So thank you, and please, if you haven't already, share this so that more moms know this is something they can get involved in next year. And a happy, happy Mother's Day to all the moms watching. And my Mother's Day was so special because of the way I spent the morning, and then the way the awesome husband who's playing with the baby behind me made me feel special as well. So thank you so much. I hope all of you have an amazing Mother's Day. I'm gonna go try standing on my head and maybe, I don't know, whatever else to get my child to sleep, but it doesn't sound, I don't know about what you can hear, but it really doesn't sound like she's ever gonna sleep. So wish me luck, and thank you for watching. And if you liked this, do the whole like, subscribe, share, all of that, and I will chat to you all again on Wednesday. Thank you for watching.